Welcome to the RetireCoast Estate Planning Membership. Whether you're creating your first estate plan or updating documents you've had for years, understanding the process is just as important as completing the documents themselves. In this special presentation, Bill Anderson, author of RetireCoast and creator of the RetireCoast Estate Planning Membership, will personally guide you through the entire membership dashboard. As you explore each section, Bill will explain what every tool is designed to accomplish, the real-life problems it helps solve, and why each document plays an important role in protecting you, your family, and your legacy. You'll discover that the RetireCoast Estate Planning Membership is much more than a collection of legal forms. It is a comprehensive estate planning system that combines interactive document builders, educational guides, planning worksheets, decision-making tools, videos, and practical resources designed to help you make informed decisions with confidence. Along the way, you'll see how each tool fits into your overall estate plan, who should consider using it, common mistakes to avoid, and how the tools work together to create a more complete planning strategy. Whether your goal is protecting your spouse, providing for your children, preparing for incapacity, avoiding unnecessary probate, or organizing your family's important information, this membership was created to simplify the estate planning process and help you move forward one step at a time. Now, please join Bill Anderson as he takes you on a guided tour of the RetireCoast Estate Planning Membership and shows you why thousands of hours have gone into creating one of the most comprehensive estate planning memberships available today.
We're at the RetireCoast Estate Planning Membership dashboard. You only have access to what you see on the screen if you become a member, which means that all of the buttons and all of the tools that you're going to see in just a moment are available for members. So let's go down and I'll show you what we have. This is the beginning of the estate planning dashboard, and that's really what it is. This is about planning for your future. We have a quick nav section here for some key elements, but I'm going to go through all of them in turn down below. Now, we have a suggested order on which ones you create first, and we think you should create the last will and testament first, and there's some good reasons for this. You need to gather a great deal of information to build your portfolio, and there are places that are better to start, and so the last will and testament is a much better place to start. The Revocable Trust Builder is our flagship tool. So why do you need it? Well, you can help avoid probate for properly titled assets. You don't want to go to probate. That is expensive and time-consuming. This helps avoid it. It helps keep your affairs organized. It makes management easier if you become incapacitated. It creates a smoother transition after death for those that you leave behind, and it keeps more of your estate private rather than solely relying on a will. And there is a need for both a will and a trust. They do different things, and our whole system explains that. The problems that it solves, and this is the key thing, the reason to actually do it, is that assets are passed through, avoid probate. It avoids family confusion. It avoids delays in distributing assets. It takes a long time through probate, so if you have a trust, then the delays are very small. There's no successor trustee identified, solves that problem. And then it solves the problem of poor organization of estate documents. We've probably all heard the stories. Someone passes away and everybody scurries around to find out what they own and where everything is and how much they have to pay. It solves those issues too. So it's really better for people that own homes, married couples, families with children, and anyone who owns multiple assets. That could be, a business, for example. You have some rental properties, more than just an automobile. We also have the Revocable Trustee Selection tool. That's not displayed right here. I don't want to go down further to show you at this point. But that trustee tool helps you select the trustee. That means that the person that you choose is the best person. It's not based on who you like the most. It's, of course, your choice, but you really need to pick the best person for the job. And if you use our Trustee selection tool, it solves choosing the wrong child, naming someone who lives too far away, choosing someone without financial skills, family disagreements, and trustee burnout. It solves these issues. It's always best for anyone creating a revocable trust of any kind. The trust funding guide, which also comes along with this, is a very important tool as well, because a trust doesn't do anything if it doesn't own anything, which means that one of the first things you need to do after you create a trust is to fund the trust with assets. The trust funding guide solves the problems with assets accidentally remaining outside the trust or probate despite having a trust, forgotten bank accounts, untitled real estate, missing beneficiary reviews. These are all issues that come up when a trust is created but not funded properly. Now we'll go into the next thing here, which is the last will and testament. The last will and testament, most people seem to know what this document is. It's also often called a pour-over will. Why do you need it? Well, even if you have a trust, most people still need a will. The problems that it solves are dying intestate, which means without a will, no guardian for children, family disputes, no executor to take care of the properties, and properly distributed under state law instead of your wishes. That's what will happen. Your property would be taken by a judge that you don't know and distributed regardless of what your wishes might be. So it solves all of these issues by having that last will and testament. The durable power of attorney is also important. What this is a document that allows someone to trust to handle your financial affairs if you cannot. Why do you need it? Well, without one, your family may need to seek a court-appointed counselor or a guardian for you. It solves paying the bills, managing investments, selling property, accessing accounts, and signing legal documents. So the power of attorney is important, and of course our tool takes you all the way through the whole process of creating it. The Advanced Healthcare Directive you see on the right here, that one tells the doctors and your family what medical treatment you want. The problems it solves include family disagreements, life support decisions, end-of-life care, organ donation decisions, appointing your healthcare agent as well. So that's important to do. And you can see that there's a collection starting here, that no one document takes care of everything. So let's go down and we'll talk about the HIPAA Authorization Builder. Now, most people don't know what HIPAA means. It's basically an acronym that the government uses to protect your privacy. You probably heard the term used by doctors' offices more often. But it allows healthcare providers to share your medical information with people you choose. And we give some examples in here of, for example, a couple that's not married but they're together. They're partners, if you will. If one of them gets sick, the other one cannot get any information unless there is an authorization in place. And this really affects anyone. It's not just an age issue. So the problems it solves are that doctors, were refusing, as I mentioned, to speak with family, children unable to receive updates, emergency confusion, and delays in treatment decisions, most important thing. The Revocable Living Trust Builder is one of the key elements also in our program, as I mentioned up above. So you can see it right up here too. Now we're going down here point by point. And we also talked about the Revocable Trustee Selection Tool. Okay. Now we're going to go into the supporting tools. We have a trust funding guide. I mentioned to you a little bit about funding the trust before, so the trust funding guide helps with that, making sure that your trusts are funded. The the medical information and emergency contact form, this is your family's emergency roadmap, basically. The problems that it solves are missing medications, unknown allergies, unknown physicians, missing insurance information, that's very important, and emergency contact confusion. So we have the collection form in here that you can sit down in your own home and fill this information out and have it available. The next thing is the funeral disposition and planning worksheet. A lot of people ignore this. It solves some serious potential problems with family disagreements, emotional spending, unknown burial wishes, veterans benefit confusion, are you eligible or not, or forgetting obituary information. Now, this is one of those areas where people get very upset, and families do. What did you want? What did you want? And you can lay it all out. You can even prepay. There's a discussion of that in there too, for funeral expenses, and make it easier on your family so that they don't have to guess at what you're looking for. Then we're going to go down to wealth building and asset protection tools. Now, the above items are not really designed for wealth building or asset protections. A trust will not protect your assets, and neither will a will. Those are documents that direct where you want things to go and what your wishes are. If you want to help protect your assets, let's talk about that a little bit, beginning with the irrevocable trust builder. And the irrevocable trust builder, as opposed to a revocable trust builder, which we talked about, this is an advanced planning tool that helps members evaluate and draft that irrevocable trust structure. So let me just explain quickly here. The revocable trust is something that is it's a living thing. You are alive, you are the trustee, you are directing that while you're alive, and then when you pass away, then the successor trustee takes over. The irrevocable trust is different. It contains your wealth as well, your properties, that kind of thing. But the irrevocable trust is not managed by you. It's managed by an independent third person. That's the way that it has to be done to protect your wealth. So for larger estates, business owners, and those concerned about asset protection, it can be a very important strategy. The problems it solves are asset protection planning, long-term wealth transfer, Medicaid planning in appropriate situations, creditor exposure, and estate planning for some families. It's an integral part for people that have any wealth at all, particularly properties. You know, if you have rental properties and you have a house with a lot of equity in it, you have a business, for example, and if the business owns properties or owns equipment also. So the irrevocable trust is very important, and it's one element. We talk about a package with the irrevocable trust that includes, we'll get to that in a moment, a mortgage and a promissory note builder. I might as well hit it right now on this page, because you need to have some debt against an asset to keep someone from wanting it. So there is an ability to create a promissory note and a mortgage that eats up the equity in a property that is held by the irrevocable trust. So if you read into our membership, you'll find out how to set up the entire package to help. It's almost bulletproof, not quite. You can't guarantee that because in the court system in the United States, anyone can sue anybody for anything at any time. And you can come as close as possible with our asset protection system. The irrevocable trustee selection tool is also important, just like it was for the revocable trust. This case, you want to select, it's even more important because you may not have a close relationship with the person that you select. You might want to select a bank or a CPA, someone else that is not related to you, that has the ability to make independent decisions based on on what you lay out when you first create the trust, so that when someone comes looking for what you owe, that person will follow your instructions at the time the trust was created and prevent your assets from falling into those hands. So there's a lot to that, and it's all explained and all laid out in our membership package here. The insurance layer is one of the other layers in the wealth protection. That's the basic third leg of the protection plan. And we talk about why you need insurance, particularly if you have a business. You need more than just ordinary insurance. You may need an umbrella coverage also. It solves the problem with liability gaps and outdated policy limits, duplicate insurance. So it's a whole plan to evaluate what you need. The other one is the LLC operating agreement generator. And for many people who have rental properties particularly, or have a property that they want to that's used for a business, they want that property not to be owned by them. They want the safety that a limited liability company provides. That means that if something happens to that business or someone gets hurt, they can't take your personal home away as long as you're not directly responsible. So we're not giving legal advice here. We're simply saying that we have that available for you to create a limited liability company. And then, of course, with that, you need the limited liability meeting minutes generator. And we also have the ability for you to generate the membership agreement that comes with the limited liability company. So even if you're just creating a brand new business, or you have a sole proprietor business and want to switch it over to limited liability company, those things are available to you in this program. It's also available in our business membership program too. We also have a tool called Relocating for Wealth Preservation. It's a way for you to preserve your wealth by relocating to some place in the country where they aren't going to take it away from you, where taxes are low or non-existent, in some cases where there are no state income taxes or no income taxes on retirement income. This helps you find those locations and preserve the wealth that you have. Recently in California, there is a circulation of a petition where they could potentially take money from wealthy people, and that has also been developed in other states. If it happens in your state, then you may want to leave in advance, and you want to know where to go to someplace that's not going to happen. Then we have downloads and outputs. We have the HIPAA authorization downloads, and we have a number of other things that are coming in the future that are actually in development now, and some haven't been posted yet. We'll have an asset evaluation tool, estate inventory and heirs guide, the document locator and estate binder index, and then we have many other future tools that we have listed here. Just a few of them. There'll be many more of them in the membership, in this particular membership. And then we also have for you a calculator hub with many calculators there for retirement and other purposes, and a wealth of articles about all of the things I just talked about. If you want to start a business, there's a business membership, as I just mentioned, that'll help you with all the tools you need to start a business. And then finally, our Estate Planning Academy. Now, the Academy itself is open to the public, and it is extensive. It's going to be developed over the next year. Right now, there are 4 major lessons that are out there, and this Academy supports all of those tools. It actually, the Academy was created to support the membership, but we decided to expose the information to the public so it'll help them, and then hopefully drive some people to the membership and use the tools that are in there. because knowing about a topic isn't quite the same as having the tool to create it. And that's the purpose behind us creating the Estate Planning Academy, which will have many, many lessons in it. It has 6 different sections with somewhere around 35 separate lessons. Each lesson is over 10,000 words with all kinds of interactive tools in there as well. So welcome to the RetireCoast Estate Planning membership and all of the benefits that come with it for a very reasonable fee of $295 a year. Now, we have a monthly plan at $25, but the better deal is $295 a year. Now, if you want to look at the screen, you can see that this compares favorably to a typical cost of about $5,250. But to be fair, we think there's a position here for an attorney to review all of the documents and work that you've done. So we'll take that $400 off on the other side, and we're still just about $5,000, $4,800 or so, $4,900. And that would be what you would pay or more to go to an attorney. Now, that is supposing that you don't have any business or other extenuating properties, and it's just a normal house and some cars and some money in the bank, a few things like that. So you can see that clearly, without any doubt, even one of the documents is a better value by going with RetireCoast. Let me tell you why there are some other reasons you should consider RetireCoast as opposed to going directly to an attorney. One of them, as I mentioned a little bit in there, you need to gather a great deal of information, and it'll save you some trips back and forth to the lawyer's office, where you can gather that information using all of our tools and our articles, and you can put this into the system at your own time. Not sitting in front of a desk where you're thinking about, oh, what about this person or that person? You forgot to write it down. Everything you need is going to be at your fingertips at your house, basically, or on your computer. This is a no-stress situation or a low-stress situation, depending on how you feel about doing this process. But it's a lot easier to do it this way, and it's more cost-effective. There's no trips back and forth with the high cost of fuel today to see an attorney. And then in the end, you can see your attorney anyway and have the attorney bless it by reviewing all the documents. May you make a couple of changes at home, give them back to him, everything's fine, it gets signed, and you've got your estate planning portfolio there with you. Now, there's some other issues as well that we cover in there, such as family meetings and things that you can manage on your own, of course, without an attorney. So our package for $295 is a value any way you look at it, and it's always available to you. Instead of going back to the attorney and paying for another hour, if you change your property, you can do it yourself, and that'll save you some money also. So please consider joining the RetireCoast Estate Planning membership. If you have a business, you can join the business membership, or you can join our all memberships, because we have a millennial membership for millennials as well. But for one price, you can get all the memberships, and it's a real bargain doing that. So please come to RetireCoast.com using the links provided in the show notes here on YouTube. Thank you for watching our video, and please come back and listen to our podcast. We have a lot of podcasts, and also read our articles at RetireCoast.com. And don't forget to join. Thank you.